What is up, guys? Sam from the Zay Madden YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a one-play touchdown against the cover 2 and cover 4 out of the Oakland Tour I-form H slot. But before we do that, please do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys take the time to hit that notification bell so you're notified daily when I upload here to the Zay Madden YouTube channel. If you guys want to watch me play Madden live, you guys can find me on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ZanMadden. The link for that channel is in the description, as is a link for my ebook bundle. If you guys are looking for a way to play the game differently on both sides of the ball, I have an ebook bundle link available. It'll take you to my PayHip account where you guys will get instant access upon checkout to my single back wing tight U, and wing tight Z offense, as well as my full comprehensive 3-4 bear defense, which are both available. It's over 3 hours of content, off-brand, off-meta style play that is going to allow you to attack all the popular coverages on offense, all the blitzes that are being thrown our way on offense, as well as stop all the meta plays, whether it be stretch dive combination or roll out corners, near close flex, you name it. It's a defense that I've been running since the first week the game dropped. And if you guys are interested, check it out. Over 3 hours of content for you guys available. Okay, guys, without further ado, let's get into today's video. We're going to be taking a look at the I-form H slot formation. This is one of those Oakland Tour formations. If you don't know what the Oakland Tour is at this point, it's referring to the plethora of two-back formations, those heavy run sets. Sometimes you get the two tight end sets to go with it. This is going to be one of those two-back, one tight end formations. And you're going to be able to run stretch dive out of the Oakland Tour. We're talking strong close, I-form close, weak close flex, a number of different formations. And this is one that you can audible into when the moment is right for an easy one-play score, because so many players are going to play that cover 4 or that cover 2 pinch dog 2 type defense. And this is going to be a way to take the lid off the defense for an easy one-play score, especially in those end of half scenarios where a lot of players like to go to cover 2. We're going to break down this play here. Now, this is a very, very simple play. The play that we're looking at is going to be the PA flood. Now, the way that this breaks down most easily is you want your wide receivers to the wide side of the field. So you're going to want a burner at the outside receiver position that's on the deep, skinny post. And as far as this play goes, it works well as basically a stock route combination. I will basically block my running back and fullback. You can involve them in the pass game if you wish. But when you're trying to just get a quick snap, one-play score against your cover 4 or your cover 2 coverages, you're going to be able to beat both of those over the top fairly easily. Now, the thing that makes this even easier is most players tend to press in their 3-4 odd. When they see any type of two-back, one tight end look, they're going to be calling 3-4 odd, setting up one of many different setups. But for the most part, players always press in this formation. This will be able to beat those coverages if they don't press, but most players will, making it even easier for you guys to beat. So let's go ahead and show you the route combination here. This will require a little bit of time in the pocket, so disregard if we get shed instantly or anything in this video. But what we're looking for is the deep, skinny post over the top for the one-play score. So go ahead and show this to you here. We're going to try to stand tall in the pocket. You're going to see how this post route gets open all the way over the top for that easy one-play score. Now, I even moved Shaq Griffin, who is like 94, 95 speed in regs, all the way back to that safety position, because I want to show that this can beat even some of the fastest cover guys in the game fairly easily. And the reason that it does that is that they basically have no one to guard, so they kind of just squat and they chill at about that depth, and then you're able to throw this ball all the way over the top for that easy score. So you see right there how consistently we can beat cover 4 over the top. Now, let's go ahead and show you why this works. This has everything to do with threats. They have no threats to cover on the right side. So when you're taking a look at this player right here, who's responsible for basically the deep outside 25% of the field going back, and you take a look at this player who's responsible for the inside 25% deep on the right side of the field, they both have nothing to guard. So if I were to kind of show you this here, notice how there's no routes releasing on the left side of the field, and there's no routes really breaking underneath from the right side of the field. So they kind of are just waiting here at this stop point. They get to this point right here, and they say, all right, nothing more. We don't really need to keep dropping. Let's go ahead and wait for something crossing the field underneath. Well, the problem is there's nothing crossing underneath from this side of the field. It's all behind them over the top. Now, over here, you're probably asking, well, why doesn't this guy right here stay on this post? Well, in terms of how this coverage works, he's playing inside 25% of the field. So he's responsible for this area deep, and he's going to play kind of, the right side of this player, but he knows he's got help, or so he thinks, from this player. But because this player has nothing to guard, he kind of sits down and is waiting, and he's not responsible for knowing that there's a route, 10 yards behind him, or at some point it's going to be about 10 yards behind him. You see right here, it gets to that point. At that point, your pass rush has got to get home. So for those who are wondering at home and they're like, yo, well, you're just glitching a coverage, I'm trying to explain to you that not every single time you blow a coverage in Madden is it a glitch. Nobody's glitching you out. It's just one of those things where you have to understand the rules, much like offensive coordinators do in real life. And unfortunately, in Madden, you don't have the ability to say, hey, 26, when he gets back to the sideline, hey, from now on, we're going to play this coverage this way, or we're going to do something different. It's up to you to basically have to user things and maybe try different adjustments or individually man things up. And that presents a problem for a lot of players. But hopefully the way that I'm explaining this kind of gives you that insight as to why this happens in the game. So that way you're not looking at your opponent saying, oh, that's a cheater. I'm trying to help you guys understand a little bit better why this happens to you. So I mentioned that it works against press coverage. Here's an example of off coverage. Again, you're going to need time, but against your cover 4 drop show 2, it's a pretty simple 3-man rush. And you see right here how you can just basically load that ball up and throw it rat catch. And again, also consider Jimmy Garoppolo does not have the strongest arm amongst quarterbacks in the game. So very, very consistent cover 4 beater. The next thing I kind of want to show is the other read on the play. I really like this play because you actually can throw the slot route if they jump the skinny post. This route is really nice. It releases to the inside against cover 4, hits the sideline, and you're just going to throw kind of an up pass lead. You're going to be able to pick up, a good roughly 25, 30 yards. You see the ball spotted on the 20. We're able to get this ball out to about close to midfield. So you see right here, you let him run, pass lead up. That's about a 30-yard gain to that slot player. So very, very easy throw. You're probably wondering, well, what about a cloud flat? What if they play cover 4, they shade underneath, and they shade back over the top to play cloud flats? Will that change how the play works? And the answer is no, it really won't. He gets a free release. He's going to run his route, let him get up there, throw an up pass lead, toe drag on the sideline for a catch. I believe if you have in-out elite on that player, that'll give him the elite catch in traffic as well. You may notice that I put in Matthew Breida just for speed purposes in for this video. So that way, we can kind of show this to you with a little bit more of a burner. Now, obviously, I talked about cover 4. Let's go ahead and take a look at cover 2. Cover 2, it's basically the same principles. I mean, you're going to be able to block the running back and the fullback. And again, because you have no route attacking that deep right side of the field, you're going to notice that safety is going to basically walk down. So he kind of drifts towards center field, and all the way over the top, you're going to throw this ball for that one-play score. So cover 2 is actually easier to beat in this regard than the cover 4. So if I were to go ahead and go back to the Tampa 2, let's say this time our opponent puts a middle third rather than a mid read. You may have noticed on that last play that the mid read zone wasn't able to get there. What about a middle third? All right, so let's go ahead and max protect here and run the same route combination. And you're going to notice that if you're just patient, patience, you're going to be able to throw that ball away from that middle third and still be able to pick up that one-play score. Now, again, right there, Garoppolo didn't have the big arm to lead him downfield, but you notice that I was able to tuck that throw into a pretty decent spot with the down and outside lead. So you see right here, I just wait for this post. So let's go ahead and freeze it, kind of go sky-high view, take a look right here. Once I notice that Goodwin is going to be able to get across 57 playing that middle third, I know that I have all this room over here to throw to. So I'm just basically throwing a 3 o'clock pass lead. And you may notice that I'm able to kind of let this ball go and I throw it over here. But again, if I had a bigger arm quarterback, we're actually wanting to target all the way kind of out in this area of the field rather than kind of in this area of the field, which is where he ends up catching it. So you definitely want to get them in a spot where you can lead them with that throw. Let's go ahead and go back to, again, that cover 2, that Tampa 2 style coverage. Another thing that I think is a really underrated thing, I do this in my offense, that single back wing tight U, is I have matchup nightmare on a lot of my deep routes. I think a lot of people view matchup nightmare as one of those abilities that just allows you to throw a streak to a tight end off the line and aggressive catch a linebacker. but there is kind of some utility for that ability downfield. So I'll oftentimes put it on receivers as well, especially against players that like to run cover two and drop those middle linebackers deep. Now, let's just imagine that Marquise Goodwin has matchup nightmare, which he doesn't, but let's just, for kicks and grins, assume he does. Matchup nightmare basically guarantees one-on-one aggressive catches against linebackers downfield. So in this situation, they're playing cover two, and they think that they're safe by putting a post defender or a middle third defender in between the two safeties. But that player being a linebacker, in this spot, we're going to be able to say, okay, well, at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and throw an ag on you. And this guy oftentimes will aggressive catch it and get that completion. So you don't necessarily have to wait for him to clear that player if you have that ability. So that's just a different way of thinking about the route combination. Now, Tampa 2, let's go back to the slot route. So we showed you how the cloud flat in cover 4 didn't play it. Now here's Tampa 2. I want you guys to watch the same deal right here. So watch how he's going to run the route, and then you're just going to throw an up pass lead. Because that cloud flat's going to bite down, you're going to be able to pick up 30 yards pretty easily on this play. So again, we'll go ahead and run Tampa 2 once more. All we're doing on this play, guys, is we are blocking the fullback and the running back. This is just a simple load up play, and you're looking for the deep ball all the way over the top. So you see that X is going to be open. Okay, whatever, let's pretend they user it. We throw this ball to the slot receiver, up pass lead for a gain of about 30 yards. Now, if you want to go ahead and get a little bit better with it, you could do a lot of weird things on this play. If you wanted to, you could set up wheel screens. Like I could go ahead and wheel the running back flat the slot receiver. I love the slot route so much that I don't recommend doing this too often. But, say it's a short down scenario and you want to pick up, some yards, you could go ahead and throw some low ball wheels out of the backfield by using the slot receiver on a flat to pull those zones. Because you see that the purple zone on the left is going to chase that flat to the slot receiver. And then the wheel to the running back hits into a pretty tender spot on the field. So you see right here, I can kind of like throw this ball and pick up, roughly 10, 11, 12 yards on that throw out of the backfield. So it's pretty easy to do. And it doesn't compromise the integrity of the deep ball. So you see right here, like they're in the cover 4. If you hold on to this, you're still going to be able to throw this ball all the way over the top because, again, those guys don't have anything to guard. And then you're going to be able to throw that ball. Again, Garoppolo's arm strength coming into play right there. But you notice that you could throw that ball all the way over the top if you had a strong arm quarterback. So pretty easy to do right there. That route combination with the wheel and the flat does not work against cover 2 because vertical hooks are going to play the wheel out of the backfield. So I want to make sure I show that to you as well. So you see here in the cover 2, if I try to throw this wheel route, you're going to throw it right at that yellow zone defender right there. So not something you want to do too often anyways against your cover 2. If you're looking for alternate things that you could do against cover 2, one thing I will oftentimes notice is that this player right here will really notice what they're trying to do, and he'll vacate out to center field. So we'll kind of mimic that with Wagner. I oftentimes like to put the tight end on a delay fade, and the reason that I like that is that I can control how that plays. So I can keep him into block, allowing all those zones to bite down. And then once that player has kind of vacated the area of the field that I want to attack, I can leak the tight end out late, throw kind of an inside pass lead and rat catch it upfield. So that's a way that I've been using those routes all year long to kind of move the ball. This is actually a playbook that I ran early in the year. I know a lot of players run the Oakland Tour and it gets this negative connotation because it's viewed as just stretch and just dive, but I've always been an under center passer, always. No matter what year I run under center and I throw a run game, a play action mix, and some nice creative under center dots. So it actually makes me kind of sad that I didn't stay in the Oakland book this year. It was just so many players run it. And the way that I am as a player, I always tend to be off meta. And when that becomes the meta, I have to move on and find something new rather than just kind of accepting that this is the type of player that I have always been as a Madden player. But that doesn't mean that I can't show you guys some of the tricks of the trade that I was using earlier in the year. So if you guys are Oakland Tour users, I really hope you guys will use this because this formation has some really phenomenal complementary plays to it. If you take a look at this, I mean, you've got obviously the stretch bubble. I think that this dive alert bubble is criminally underrated just because, it's such an inside run in a short yardage scenario where if they're loading up on that inside run, you can always pop that throw out wide. Now, obviously, you don't want to throw it when they're, you don't have a guy to pick up the blitz or whatever. But like if they're really, really playing like a pretty stout run defense, like they're pinching their line, maybe they're sneaking in a slot corner just to try to take that away. That's going to allow you to kind of, get creative and get this ball out. Some of those bubbles, the stretch bubbles, dive and stretch alerts are nice. And there's just a lot to really like about this playbook, but you guys already know that the Oakland playbook is probably the #1 most used playbook in Madden. Just trying to show you some things that I don't see a lot of other pro players running in terms of pass setups to help you guys complement the run game. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, or complaints, please drop them below. If you like the video, make sure to drop a like, and we'll see you guys tomorrow with our next video upload. Until then, this is Zan. Get in the lab and good luck.